Look at your portfolio. You're holding HBAR. Maybe you've held it for years. You've read the news. You've seen the partnerships. You've heard the promises of trillions. But you look at the price and you feel nothing. Just frustration. You feel like you're missing the real gains, that maybe this is all just a pipe dream. You feel like you've been doing everything right, but you're still not where you want to be. If you're interested in this topic, hit the like button, subscribe, and type HBAR millionaire in the comments, and I will give you a heart. But what if I told you that the biggest risk you're facing isn't the price? It's a mistake that 99% of HBAR holders are about to make that will cost them everything. A single, irreversible error that will separate the multimillionaires from the bag holders. Over the next 8 minutes, I'm going to reveal the 4 hidden forces at play on the Hedera network, and the one thing you absolutely must do to ensure you're not left behind. This isn't another technical analysis video. This is a survival guide for a paradigm shift. We're going to talk about trillions, and we're going to talk about why you specifically are positioned to win big, but only if you follow one crucial rule. Don't go anywhere. Your future depends on this. Let's dive right in. The first and most dangerous misconception is thinking the price is the story. We're all conditioned to look at the chart every day to feel good when it's green and bad when it's red. But that's a distraction. It's a psychological trick designed to make you fail. The real story isn't about the price. It's about the silent, invisible machine being built right now. Think of the HBAR crypto ecosystem not as a coin, but as a factory. This factory is being built to produce the world's next digital economy. You don't see the price moving much because the engineers are still putting the final pieces in place. This is the Hedera Hashgraph HBAR that's going to change everything. This isn't retail. This is Fortune 500 companies and governments building a new global infrastructure. We're talking about a $3 trillion, 0 cents opportunity in real world asset, tokenization alone. The vast majority of people believe that this is still a future concept. But here's the mind-blowing truth. It's happening right now. Companies are piloting and deploying applications to put everything from stocks to real estate on the Hedera network. You don't see it on a chart, but you can feel it in the transaction volume, which is skyrocketing. For example, a partnership with a platform like Swift is enabling live trials for a new payment standard that could handle trillions in transactions. But why is this so important for you, the individual holder? Because every single one of those transactions, every single asset that is tokenized requires HBAR as fuel. It's like having a monopoly on the gasoline for a global economy that's just starting its engine. The more the engine runs, the more fuel it consumes. The more it consumes, the more valuable that fuel becomes. This is a simple, fundamental law of economics that's about to play out on an epic scale. The second misconception is believing that because you have HBAR in your wallet, you're safe. You're not. While you've been focused on the price, the world's biggest corporations have been quietly building a moat around the Hedera ecosystem. Think of it like a new country being built. This new country has all the infrastructure, all the roads, all the power grids, but only a select few are invited to the inner circle. The Hedera Hashgraph HBAR Governing Council, with members like Google, IBM, and Boeing, is making decisions not for retail, but for a world of finance you can't even imagine. They're making a compliant, secure, and private network for themselves. The question is, how do you get in? This isn't an open source, every man for himself kind of network. This is enterprise grade. And that means the projects and applications that succeed on Hedera are the ones that serve a real institutional level need. They're not building a platform for speculators. They're building a platform for the next generation of global finance. This is why you must understand the subtle shift happening right now. The slow, deliberate price action is weeding out the impatient. This is the silent cull, where patience is the only thing that separates the winners from the losers. The irony is that this institutional first approach is creating something incredibly powerful, a final irreversible supply shock. We've seen the transaction volume climb, the tokenization narrative take hold, and the institutional moat being built. But there's a third and final element that's about to put a mash to this entire thing. It's the one thing that will take all of these quiet developments and force them into the public consciousness. We've talked about the unseen use case and the silent cult. Now let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, the most important thing you need to know about the HBAR you hold, the ultimate catalyst. The ultimate catalyst isn't a partnership you've heard of. It's not a single announcement. It's something far more profound. It's the convergence of 3 global forces that have nothing to do with crypto, but everything to do with HBAR. I'm talking about the tokenization of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and the global push for AI accountability. Think of it like this. Governments and banks are building a new financial superhighway. They need a technology that is fast, secure, and compliant. A technology that can handle the volume of an entire country's economy. And after years of testing and research, they are realizing that legacy blockchain technology simply won't cut it. The only thing that can handle this is Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. Its unique consensus mechanism is designed for exactly this. It's like building the first superhighway and realizing you've been given the contract to own the only gas stations on it. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is a fact. We've seen Hedera being used by governments and financial institutions for things like digital identity and tokenized bonds. This is the ultimate real-world use case that you've been waiting for. The trillions of dollars we talked about earlier, that's the value that's about to flow onto this network. Every single transaction, every token, every digital dollar needs to be verified and secured, and that requires HBAR. But there's a massive mistake you're about to make, and it has to do with time. You've seen the machine being built. You've felt the fear of the silent call. You now know the catalyst, but you're missing the final crucial piece of information, the one thing that will prevent you from fucking this up. It's about a single metric that most crypto investors ignore. This lever isn't about price, it's about velocity, the speed at which HBAR is moving through the system. For years, people have pointed to Hedera's low staking rewards and asked, why would anyone hold it? This question is wrong. The value of HBAR isn't in the staking, it's in its perpetual use. It's like a car that is always running. You don't earn money by parking the car, you earn money by using it to transport goods. And the more goods, the more value. And the more value, the higher the demand for the fuel, which is HBAR. And this is why you must understand the difference between a speculative asset and a utility token. A speculative asset is something you buy and hope someone pays more for it later. A utility token, like HBAR, is something that is a requirement for a system to operate. You're not just buying a coin, you're buying a piece of the engine that powers a multi-trillion-dollar economy. The biggest mistake you can make is to lose your patience. The quiet, deliberate growth of HBAR is not a bug, it's a feature. The institutions aren't going to announce their plans on Twitter. They are building a new financial system, and they are doing it on the Hedera network. You, as a holder of Hedera Hashgraph HBAR, are an early part of that system. You came here to find out why you shouldn't mess this up. You've now seen the answer. This isn't about a fleeting trend. It's about a permanent foundation being built right under our noses. This is the HBAR you've been waiting for, the one that solves real-world problems, the one that institutions are building on. And the knowledge you have now puts you in a small, select group of people who understand the true value of this project. You have the power to stop being a spectator and start being an owner. The price is not the story, the adoption is. The price is a lagging indicator of the fundamental change that's already underway. We've only scratched the surface of the institutional revolution happening on Hedera. To truly understand the full scope of this, you need to watch our next video where we break down the one secret partnership that ties this all together and gives Hedera Hashgraph HBAR an unstoppable advantage. Click the link on the screen right now to continue your journey. Don't just watch the future, own it.